for a treat. As we have HaNfy, the winner of the first game, spawning in the bottom location as the yellow Zerg player.
And
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, good call. And at the top of the map, Heavy Rain, it is ESC player Jacko, who is down 1 game now. Let's see if this player from Luxembourg can turn it around and tie the series up 1-1.
So we could say that he is the second Dutch representative, sort of, here, no?
Because of the flag?
No, because of he's from Benelux.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't actually. Okay, enlighten me, educate me on this. So, I always compare this stuff to what we have here. I'm originally from Slovakia, and right now I live in the Czech Republic. And the Czechs and the Slovaks used to have a joint state for approximately 100 years.
Czechoslovakia.
Yes.
Right.
So whenever, for example, there is the World Hockey Championship, I just cheer for both teams, right? Because when my team gets eliminated, I can still cheer for the Czechs and feel as if, wait, I accomplished something when I win the gold, right? So I thought you had a similar thing with the Benelux, going with the Luxembourg and Belgium, or you don't?
No, unfortunately, we no, that's not. See, we have the same thing that you have between Slovakia and the Czech Republic. We have that internally in the Netherlands. So we have different provinces, some of which are called Holland, others are called Gelderland.
Oh, so wait a minute. So if you have a tournament and you have Dutch players in there and Belgian players in there, and all the Dutch get eliminated, and then the Belgian guy remains standing, you don't cheer for him because you don't feel a connection there.
No, the Belgians are, that's a different country. Likewise with the Luxembourg. The Benelux thing, though, that is something that's not really. I mean, everybody knows about the Benelux, but it's mostly like a more like an economic union.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have to do much with feelings of nationalism or anything.
Oh, okay, all right.
No. It's basically like, I think most people feel about the Benelux the way they feel about EU. Although Benelux, of course, does not have their own parliament and rules that they're making up, so many people are unhappy with EU because of that. Okay. But I guess most Dutchmen would relate to Benelux the way they would relate to EU. It's just working together with other nations, but still they're other nations.
All right, I understand now. Okay, so it's not the same thing. Okay.
Right. We should do a lecture about this sometime.
Well, you can prepare a presentation for the DSCL finals. I mean, last time we had a presentation about misconceptions about computer games.
Yep.
And how they influence our behaviors. This time you can give a presentation for all the non-Benelux people about what this is, basically. Which I wonder how many non-Benelux people will be there.
I wonder too. Some players might be there, of course, and most notably some Germans.
Yeah,
I mean, that's likely.
True.
And Germans are not in the Benelux officially.
That is true.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that sound?
Yes. What is that?
That is an ice cream truck.
Oh my God!
There's an ice cream truck in front of my house.
See, this is because we're casting Jacko from ESC Icy Box, and you have an ice cream truck at the front of your house. Wow. Nevertheless, HaNfy did go for a standard build here, and this time it's going to pan out for him because he's up against a Forge Fast expansion here by Jacko. So, taking a fast third base and then getting the gases is really good for you. And HaNfy didn't go with 3 gases. He went with 2 gases. There are basically 2 ways to gas when you go for a third base gasless. You can either go for 530 gases, which is for and build 2 of them, which is what HaNfy did, or you can go for later gases and build 3 of them.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of what you really want to do.
Right.
And looks like he's playing very, very standard right now.
And as far as Jacko is concerned, as soon as he chased the 2 Zerglings that were posting in front of his base away with the 1 Zella, he sent out a sneaky probe that is now hiding about on basically the lower left side of the map. There is an Overlord in position though, so anything that probe produces via a pylon maybe will get spotted before it reaches HaNfy's base.
Yeah, and we also have a Stargate coming out of Jacko, so maybe he's going for the Oracle once again. maybe he's going for Phoenixes into Colossus. That would make more sense since he did open up with a Forge. It's a pretty old school, well mapped out build.
Queen goes down.
Yeah, nice pickup there. That's actually a huge loss. 160 minerals, having to invest in a Queen again at this stage in the game is pretty robust.
Yeah. There we go, but and the roaches have also been spotted, so there might be some more safety immortals. But there's no robo.
You know what? I would say this would have to be the counter Void Ray.
Right.
Or the Guardian Void Ray, or whatever you want to call it. There it is, even being chrono boosted as the Lings and Roaches are closing in on Jacko. And HaNfy is going pretty much all in with this almost, as he's producing 18 more Lings. He really wants to break this down, but look at this, the Warp Gate tag is finished, the 2 additional gateways have finished, there will be sentries and there will be that one Void Ray. Jacko just needs to hold on a little while longer. Plus one attack for the Zealots finished as well. Sentry goes down, not before popping down that force field. And a good re-walling in by Jacko here. Desperately needs that Void Ray out.
A relentless onslaught by the Zerg. I mean, this is a matter of hold on for tournament life.
He needs to block that. He needs to block. Oh my god.
Ooh, this is bad for Jacko.
Alright, but here's the Void Ray. The Void Ray will clean up those roaches like there's nobody's business.
Yeah, and the reinforcements let off for a while from HaNfy, so there's more coming now, but I think Jacko did a good job. Now destroying one of his pylons to open up the front of his base again.
I would not do that if I were him, because here come the Lings. Oh, and Jacko, unfortunately, too late on that. The Stalkers will be taken out. The Void Ray is not as good in killing Lings as it is in killing Roaches. So, you know, the whole mineral line of the natural base is in danger right now, and HaNfy is using the mobility of his Lings to cause as much mayhem as possible. Behind this, 12 drones, because he can.
Yeah, because he can. Yeah, I think the game might not be as over as I thought it was when all these Zerglings streamed in, but still, he did a lot of damage. Of course, the lost mining time not being the least of it. Now probes fighting the Zerglings. Yep. Jacko is gonna have to work his way back into this game.
Yeah, he's getting more Phoenixes.
Even using Photon Overcharge in his main.
Yeah, that's he really needed to clean those Zerglings up as fast as possible. He is still on 39 probes though. HaNfy's on 41 drones. He's getting a couple of his queens lifted up, but well, is he just going to keep lifting those queens and let the Zealots kill the third base? That's not gonna work.
No, maybe he's just keeping HaNfy busy now.
He almost gets a one queen. Oh, gets it. Look at the second one, maybe. He might actually take out this third base. He does have a pylon over here from which he constantly reinforces.
No, it's not gonna work out. Barely.
Too many Lings, but look at this. 85 hit points on that hatchery, and wow, that was so close.
All right, 4 more Zealots. 4 more Zealots. Are they gonna do it?
I don't know, man. They are waiting for HaNfy to move out of position, and he did. Jacko sees this with the Phoenixes. He should go back with these fresh Zealots and try to finish that off. In the meantime, he's got bigger problems to worry about.
Definitely.
Another run-by.
That's the mother of all Ling run-bys. All of your base belong to Zerglings.
Wow, that's they're going to be taken out. Jacko needs to use his probes as well, though.
Okay, so the third went down. Also a Void Ray that was there. And there's another Phoenix going to fly over a Spore Crawler. But in the main base, of course, it's still mayhem. And again, the Photon Overcharge on the main Nexus.
Oh, this is Crisis Management 101. I think everybody should experience this once in a while as a StarCraft player, so that you learn how to deal with this. And you know, Jacko still not in a terrible spot economically. He took out the third base of HaNfy's. He is still on 39 probes. He's completely, well, not completely walled in, but he's got his wall blocked off.
And he's harassing.
And he's harassing with the Phoenixes, getting queen kills.
Yeah.
Hydras are out though, so they're going to put a stop to that. But after all that's said and done, let's take a look here. The resources lost are very, very good on both sides, and actually are very good for the Zerg, because usually you lose a ton more as a Zerg player in direct fights versus Protoss. Now the units lost tab, 128 Lings have been gutted this game, 13 Zealots have been teleported back to Ire, and that just kind of sums it up, and 22 probes have been killed.
I'm thinking that, like you said, Jacko might not be in such a bad position. Look at the supplies too. I mean,
yeah, it's 88 compared to 68. The army supply is actually in favor of Jacko. The problem is most of it is in the air.
Right. Literally, yeah. By the way, what you said about experiencing this type of crisis situation, the presentation that we had last year at the finals was actually about a guy, a PhD student, who did his research on the way that gamers can handle stress or can recognize of themselves that they are in a stressful position. And his hypothesis was that people who play StarCraft regularly at high level are better at recognizing that they are in a stressed position, and that they should and at dealing with that. So if I'm stressed out in StarCraft, I just do whatever. I A move, I control shift, I just attack, right? And this is something that you need to learn as a StarCraft player. And his hypothesis was that StarCraft players are better at recognizing when am I stressed, and that this also would help these people in real life, meaning dealing with stress.
And yeah, of course. Of course, a lot of people are, you know, either ignoring that they're stressed out, or they're not dealing with it properly, you know. And when you're, but it's not only StarCraft players. It's any kind of, basically any kind of occupation where you come into stressful situations quite regularly. Because you have to learn how to deal with it, potentially even how to exploit it to your benefit. Which is, you know, some StarCraft players, they have said in the past, I love it when I'm under stress because that makes me play better.
Right.
It drives me, you know. So let's take a look how things stand right now in this game. However, we have the Spire finishing up, so HaNfy once again going for that Muta switch. Unfortunately, he's lacking the gas to do that right now. He's taking a 4th base. This is what losing the 3rd base basically did to him.
Right.
So,
he's also going for Roach speed, by the way. So he has Hydras working on Mutas.
Okay,
and goes for Roach speed.
Okay, so he's not going for Mutas in that case. If he's going for Roach speed, that then he's just going to go Roach Hydra Corruptor, most probably. And let me tell you, that doesn't work well versus a standard Gateway Colossus Sentry army.
With the Safety Immortal in there, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And especially on this map. This is... he is mixing some Mutas into there, so... I'm a little bit confused as to what his army composition is supposed to be in the later stages of the game right now. And this is one of the reasons, if you take a look at the 3rd base of Jacko, this is one of the reasons why this map is good for Protoss. You take down the rocks, blocking one access point, and then actually, if Jacko were to build his wall of gateways in between the assimilator and the edge, you have an impervious wall, and you have a lot of space to maneuver your units around behind that wall, so that you know you don't get funneled through a choke or something once those rocks get broken down again. This is very good map defensive-wise for Protoss. It's hard to break, very difficult.
Alright, here we go. The Mutas and Corruptors flying into the 3rd base, or actually the natural Jacko. And doing some damage. Photon Overcharge goes down right away. Here come the Phoenixes, but they have to fight with the Corruptors first.
Yeah, Jacko is getting Blink and +3 attack for his gateways. That's going to help out tremendously when dealing with these
Jacko's using probes.
Oh, but you know what? He is attacking. So basically what he is... Oh, that was a very bad move with those Colossi. He just kind of moved the units out on the map without really controlling them. But he's basically forcing the Mutalisks to come back to defend, because the ground army of the Zerg player is not really well equipped to dealing with these Colossus.
Oh, look at this. This ground army is not doing a whole lot against the Corruptors at all. So these Colossi did what they could, but now all have died.
Yeah, and Jacko more reinforcing Stalkers coming in, and he should, quite honestly, he should push this. He's got the Stargate behind this, third one actually. He's double producing Phoenixes in case HaNfy goes back into Mutalisks, which he's not. He's reproducing his Hydralisk numbers. And with the +3 attack that will finish during this assault and Blink, this is going to be a pretty good engagement for Jacko.
Ooh, but still, there's a great arc from the Zerg player here, and HaNfy is dishing out the damage with all these Hydralisks.
Like the contamination on all those Stalkers. Such an underused ability, unless you're killing Colossus. Really like useful in ground fights.
It's like the reverse of Guardian Shield.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, people should really use it more. So, with the Phoenixes back right now, this Gateway army suddenly looks really threatening, I have to say. The thing Jacko should be thinking about, however, is a 4th base, and he is. There's a Zergling burrowed right there. Oh, it's not actually burrowed, it's just standing there, chilling.
Well, this probe will take care of that Zergling, or will he?
Nah.
Nah.
Probe will die.
Probe will die.
The probe will die.
There's a new probe coming.
Oh, Zergling will die.
That's a Zealot with charge.
Yeah, wow, I guess I'm dead.
But
here comes the rest of the army, and Jacko is out of position to defend this.
Cancel.
Oh,
nope.
he didn't cancel the Nexus.
That's 300 minerals down the drain. Of course, the Nexus is 400, but you would have gotten 300 back if you canceled.
Counterattack at the right side.
Oh, tough position for the Protoss because of these Corruptors.
Oh yeah, the Colossi were in a very bad angle to the Corruptors and all go down.
Ooh.
But look at the ground force. The ground force has just been annihilated, and HaNfy is scrambling to rebuild. His army supply is, well, not that good versus Jacko's. You want to be up in army supply, not down in army supply versus Protoss. HaNfy even forced to bring this contingent of defensive roaches from the right base to the... Well, is he going to harass with those, or what is he going to do? You can't harass on this map, dude.
Yeah, well, maybe he wants to distract and then attack with these other forces. But no, he's just... It's a single-pronged attack.
Look at this. He just wants to harass a little bit, but yeah, he's going to get one...
In his face!
In his face, indeed. He gets one cannon, and then he has to back off. And now we have Void Rays being added into the mix. This is one problem with HaNfy. He hasn't gone up to Hive yet, and he really needs Vipers.
Okay, so explain what the Vipers do in terms of what's missing functionally from his army.
Well, the thing is that when you're engaging a Protoss army, once it starts growing like this, and once the real power units start coming in numbers, like Colossi, Void Rays, Templars, you can't deal with it just with Roach Hydra Corruptor, whatever else. You need to start incorporating at least Infestors to help out with the damage dealing and crowd management. Right. And the best thing you can do is mix some Hydras in there. I mean Hydras, Vipers, so that you can abduct Colossus, you can abduct Void Rays, you can abduct the Mothership Core, preventing the recalls. Because in a direct fight, you probably will not last long enough to kill off the units, because Zerg units die so fast versus Protoss armies in a direct confrontation. Cool.
Yeah, so you need to tap into that potential that the Hive gives you if you upgrade to the Hive.
Basically what you need to do is not get that army into that Death Bowl stage ever. He just needs to constantly chip away at the Protoss economy, at his army size, and get Vipers if you can. And well, HaNfy, he's playing a different style of game. It reminds me of Don Rangu a little bit. He stays, or he used to stay on lair tech almost forever, and he still does that.
I'm not sure about preventing the Death Bowl though, because in this game, Jacko's army definitely looks like a Death Bowl.
Yeah, it does now, but it didn't look so 5 minutes ago.
Oh, that's true.
And, you know, right now, if we take a look at the supplies, it's 200 Protoss versus 170 Zerg. And this is, I mean, sure, HaNfy may take out this 4th base finally, because he has baited the army completely out of position. Jacko just may very well give this position up and lose the base, which he will anyways.
He's gonna try and cut off the army as it retreats, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep, I think Nah, he's not gonna make it. So Zerg got out on time, and indeed gets the 4th base. This was so Jacko was just sacrificing Zealots at the top. Well, the Mutas, by the way, fly into the main base. So Jacko's struggling a bit trying to get his composition the way he wants it. And now, of course, has a problem because he's got 1 Stargate less.
Yeah, he's using all of his APM to micro those Phoenixes and those Void Rays, but his main army in the meantime was doing absolutely nothing. Now he's moving it across.
He attacks.
Yeah, and that might be a good option here. You know, the Zerg is on 4 bases. Jacko just lost his 4th, and he's going to for sure lose these Void Rays. So better initiate a base race while you still can. Oh, but these Colossi are not in the best of positions, and HaNfy's making a very good trade against those, taking all of those out. And well, you know, now the army of if he gets his army together, the Mutas, the Hydras, the Roaches, and the Corruptors, he could actually kill this. Oh, Jacko, miss recall!
Whoa, that was a whiff. Those units shouldn't be there, and now they're. Oh my God! Look at this slaughter.
Oh yeah, they're going down, all of them.
Fighting for what they're worth, actually doing a bit of damage, but still, that's not what you want to have happen, of course.
Yeah, and things are swinging back into the favor of HaNfy. He still has those Mutas in the air, he still has those Corruptors, he just took out half Jacko's army. Jeez. Jacko has a lot of minerals, but almost no gas, and he needs that gas to combat what the Zerg has at this moment.
Do you remember that this game started off with the Zergling run-bys? I mean, this is
yeah.
into quite of a different game.
This is crazy, and Jacko might be eliminated here right now, ladies and gents, as HaNfy looks like, yeah, he's taking out everything, and as long as those Mutalisks stay alive, there's not a damn thing that Jacko will be able to do about it.
No, there's a significant air advantage now for HaNfy, and oof, this is struggle time for the Protoss. I mean, I remember fighting Mutalisks. It doesn't feel good.
It does not. So in the end, HaNfy was able to make this work, and he's adding on more Hydras now that the Colossi are no longer there.
Yeah, and Jacko is warping in tons of Zealots, which will not do that well against Hydras.
Well, he had to lose those almost 2,000 minerals somehow.
That's true. Better do something with them.
Yeah. Or was it 1,000 and something, I believe.
Sure.
And HaNfy taking additional bases right now. One
right,
lonely
Zealots
Zealot.
actually, they might be able to take out this base. In fact, they probably will. If controlled properly.
You know, yeah, they probably will, but HaNfy...
These Phoenix are getting a lot of pot shots off on the Corruptors in the middle of the map.
Yeah, but the air forces of the Zerg regroup in the meantime. The right base for HaNfy goes down, but he will kill off all of these. Oh, nice. He will!
Oh! The recall failed. The mothership core was killed just before the recall happened. So all the units are stuck now, left to die, except they can retreat anyway.
And you know, from this point, Jacko would probably do best if he just went for the attack, or just try to knock out one more base. I don't know if he knows about the bottom base of HaNfy. No, he does not, but he has to suspect he's got another base somewhere else. And all the while the Hydra numbers are growing. Now Jacko does have one Archon here with him, but no Templars. He doesn't even have Storm researched. In short, no AoE. So he's not going to be able to deal with those too comfortably. And this expansion effort on his part, trying to retake the 4th base, that's the last expansion effort he's going to get. So he better make it count.
Yeah, definitely. And why do you think he opened up the rocks in front of his 3rd? Does it help Jacko?
I think he wants to have a little bit more mobility out on the map and more options of where to move his army and in which ways, because the creep is spread through the sides, not as much through the center. So if he wants to attack, he wants to approach through the Zerg's blind side, I guess.
Right.
And also these run-bys are not really making him happy, so he wants to have a better option of defending his expansions. But here comes HaNfy, and I gotta say, there's not a whole lot of Protoss here.
Oof, no, those Zealots are charging in, but against this pile of Hydralisks, look at the Zealots melting. And still, it's the Phoenix is trying to deal with the Corruptors. Actually, they will, but then there's still a lot of ground forces left.
You know, Phoenixes in these numbers, they could start lifting those Hydralisks. They could kill a fair amount of them. No cancel.
This is gonna be a tough one to call. I mean, if you lift all the Hydralisks, then you've got no more Phoenixes
Yeah,
left
he's
to
going
shoot.
to kill them. But he needs to leave at least 1 or 2 Phoenixes too.
Yep.
Yeah. There's the Gruts and
Good
Jacko.
job.
Wow. He's
Wow.
out.